Hey everybody, I had a question about how you move shapes around in the plane they're in, and I'm not exactly sure what was meant by that, but maybe I can sort of make a guess and let you know some things you can do to move things around. Let's say I made this and I realized maybe I want one of these guys to be centered on the origin, I want the other one to be next to it so I could have them touching each other. Maybe I could then make them one part or something. I did something and I didn't like what it did. I want to go back to my sketches and move them around. Can I do that? Absolutely. And you can do that, one way you can do that is with constraints. So let's say you want to move this guy, and I'm going to hit show constraints real quick. I want to move this guy so that the center is down here on the origin. The only constraints it's got so far are, let's see, this is a horizontal line. This guy says that the bottom and the left side are perpendicular. Every single one of these at the corners is telling me that the two line segments that meet there, they are coincident. The endpoints are coincident. And then I've got two parallel constraints. One saying both my vertical sides have to be parallel. One saying both the top and bottom have to be parallel. That's all the constraints you need to make something a rectangle that is that's orthogonal here. That's got a horizontal and vertical component. If I take off the horizontal component out of curiosity, then I can actually like turn my, oh no, I can't turn it around yet. How do I turn, can I turn it around? No, it might not let me. Bummer. I should be able to turn rectangles around. Well, I might have to constrain it in other ways first and then I'll turn it. So let's say I want this corner to meet, here, let me undo my removal of that constraint just in case it's important. There we go. Let me put this corner down here. So I'm going to constrain it by saying I want these corners to be in the same place. This one is coincident to this one. There it is. So now I've got a constraint that I added and a constraint that's added by the software when I said I want to make a rectangle in the first place. Out of curiosity, can I now do this? Let's find out. Yes, if I hold one of my edges still, or one of my corners still, I can make this geometry go all the way around like that. Okay, cool beans. That's just what I was curious about that. Undo, undo. All right. So yeah, I can move these things around like that. If it wasn't the center point, let's say I just wanted it to be moved over here, what I could do is I could make, I can still use coincident. I just probably want to pick this line and this, the plane here that's represented by a line. I can move that directly over. And then when I move it up and down, I could actually I can either slide it or I can move the whole thing around. Well, actually I haven't made any constraints on the shape of it yet, so. But since I made it coincident along that edge, like I can't twist it. It's going to be all just changing the shape up and down, left and right. It's still going to be horizontal and vertical lines. So yeah, move it around like that. I could also use dimensions. Let's say I wanted it to be a little bit closer to the right or to the left. Or well, how about this? Let me make it the size I want it to be. Let's constrain its dimensions. Let's say I want it to be 1 inch by 1 inch. Now when I move anything around, I can't change the shape of it anymore because I've constrained it to be a certain size. I can just change its location, and now I can drag it around wherever I want to. If I wanted it to be a certain distance up or over, like if I wanted this to be exactly 1 inch away, I could also use dimensioning to make a dimension between the vertical edge and there. I could say, let's make that 1 inch over. All right, and let's make it 1 inch up as well. And now it is completely constrained. You notice all the line segments have turned black instead of blue. If I were to try to drag it around, I can't move it. It's stuck. It's well and truly stuck. If I were to delete even one of my dimensions, I can move this up and down, but every other way is stuck. So the way to move things where you want them to be, you can make the geometry, you can constrain it together if you want to. You can do what you want like that. I'm gonna save what I've done now. You know what? I'm gonna make this dimension 1 inch so that it is stuck and it cannot move. And that's moved the whole thing. That's moved the entire box I made earlier over there. Now let's say I wanted to bring this other box over and constrain it to the other guy. Hey, could I do that? Yeah. Let me see what happens if I I know I want it to be a 1/2 inch by 2 inches. So let's make that. I'm just making it dimensions. Let's constrain its shape to be 0.5 by 2. All right. Oops, I shouldn't have hit check. There we go. I'm going to coincident constraint this corner to this corner here. All right. And then I'm going to hit show constraints again. I'm going to see if I've got a horizontal. I'm going to get rid of this horizontal because this will be cool. Look, I've constrained these corners together, but I've made the size stay the same, but I can spin it around up and down any direction I want to. I could say, oh, what if I want it to be like this or like that? Or how do I want this to attach? So you can move it around in that regard. Oops, I think I snapped to it. Undo. Yeah, I snapped to horizontal. You notice I put that constraint on. Let's see. Let me undo this other constraint I'd done. If I do this now with the horizontal constraint here, which means that I can't spin this, if I were to constrain those two corners together, then it'd be fully constrained, because if this is horizontal, this piece has to be vertical, so it has to mesh up completely. Now those two pieces are together. And now if you wanted to, I could Boolean those into one unit, into one individual part. Boom. There they are. So yeah, there's a lot of ways to move things around. It depends, I guess, partly on what you're actually trying to move and how you're trying to move it. You can use constraints, you can use dimensions. If you constrain something a certain way, then you can just click and drag and move it around. Yeah. Let's see, out of curiosity, let's see if we can remove the horizontal constraint real quick. And I'm gonna make the constraint, oh geez. Well, let's back it up actually, let's undo what I was doing. Oh, I can't undo it. Oh, I can't undo the Boolean, I made the Boolean, oh maybe. Yeah, now I can undo. Let's undo the Boolean. Let's undo that movement. I don't know what I was going to show y'all. Never mind. Look, we'll do it. We'll do some more fun stuff another time. But that's just some ways you can move things around the plane. Yeah. Y'all have a good one. This is long enough for a video. Take care. Bye.